Barangay Ginebra draws first blood in the best-of-7 series against the TNT Tropang Giga. Joining us tonight to look ahead to the rest of the PBA Governors Cup finals is PBA Rush anchor Mikey Reyes, here to shoot his shots. He's known for shooting, that's why we always have him here. Okay, a big win for Barangay Ginebra, Mikey. One-sided, especially towards the end. Nagulat ka ba? 102 to 19 favor Barangay Ginebra.
Well, I was expecting TNT to put up more of a fight. And at the end of the day, they were the #1 team after the elimination round. So I was expecting more from them. But then again, with players like Pogoy and Castro struggling, it'll be tough to beat a Barangay Ginebra team who is, again, they just know when to peak. Yeah. That's just Ginebra. They just know when to peak, and right now they're peaking once again.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now may shot list tayo. Yeah. But because of the fact that nako-cover si Mikey sa PBA, we have to make it keys to winning.
Keys to winning mga prediction. Mahirap na. Tsaka mga kabarangay na dyan.
Alright, sige, Dip.
We can start it off, of course, na tapos na yung game 1. Alam natin na nanalo yung Ginebra. But let's continue on with Barangay Ginebra's keys to winning first. What do they need to do in order to win this series? Una sa listahan mo dyan, Mikey. Four-headed monster continues to dominate. Who are these four guys?
Well, number one, if you look at their minutes, you talk about Christian, obviously Scotty, Justin Brownlee, and Jamie Malone. You look at their minutes. 45 minutes almost for Scotty Thompson. The least of them four was Jamie Malone, so with almost 38. Yeah. That's basically their team, guys. Yung apat na yon, and then some Jeremiah Gray or maybe a Nards Pinto. So those four guys, if they can continue to be consistent. And what's great about these four guys is, yes, they can all score, but they're giving it to the hot hand. Yeah. Like Scotty didn't need to score yesterday, although he did drop a triple-double, so he didn't need to score that much. Justin knows his role. Christian Stan Hardinger has been, run away for BPC. We'll find out in a few days. But, that four-headed monster, TNT needs to find a way to figure that out. And if they can be consistent, they can get another chip.
8th career triple-double para kay Scotty Thompson. It was really a tough choice for the best player of the game when you take a look at all the contributions. Si Jamie Malonzo nga, 4 points in the first half, ended up with 21 points. But, so, interesting to note, na-mention mo nga, Justin Brownlee, Christian Stan Hardinger leading the race for BPC. Pero ito, one guy in particular, Dip, that had the shoot-first mentality last time around Game 1. Itong si Jeremiah Gray, 2 of 16 shooting. And shooters need to shoot. Yeah, you know that? And but what happened here for Jeremiah Gray, and how important is he in terms of yung championship hopes ng Barangay Ginebra?
Well, shots were just not falling for Jeremiah Gray, but that's what you want to see. If you're Coach Tim Cone, I'm sure your dad knows this. If he's shooting, he's confident with his shot. Even though it's not going in, it's gonna go in at some point in this series. And Ginebra just plays so much better when Jeremiah Gray catches fire, because he spreads the floor. He's another threat. Hindi mo pwede biglang i-double wala ka nga yung weakest link. Yeah. Because you don't know who's gonna double itong si Justin Brownlee when he gets hot. So Jeremiah Gray is a very important piece moving forward.
Speaking of struggles, lipat tayo sa kabilang team, ang TNT Tropang Giga. Ito medyo mas malaki yung epekto nito for them, because if Jeremiah Gray struggled, isang tao lang yun. But for TNT, 2 guys did not shoot the ball well, particularly R.R. Pogoy and Jason Castro. Ano nangyari dun for game 1?
Well, I always talk about how R.R. Pogoy is basically the guy that makes it easier for everyone else. Because when he spreads the floor, when he's hitting shots, there's more space for Mikey to penetrate. There's more space for RHJ to, establish himself in the paint. And there was a point that he was close to 50% from 3 this conference. This conference, he has been shooting the lights out, talking about R.R. Pogoy. So, they were #1 because of R.R. Pogoy's shooting. So, he's going to need to step up. Also, Jason Castro, having the luxury of having Jason Castro come off the bench, the blur. He played 30 minutes, but still 2 of 9, if I'm not mistaken. So, they need to step up if they want to, compete with the scoring of Ginebra.
Yeah, let's continue on with the shooting discussion. No? Yung 3 points ng TNT, they shot 9 out of 35 from beyond the arc in game #1. Was it a case of bad shooting night lang, or yung looks ba na nakuha nila weren't that good also?
Well, we have to commend the defense of Ginebra, first and foremost. But, they're PBA players. They can make shots even with hands in their faces. So, this is also related to R.R. Pogoy, because if he continues to hit, or if he starts to hit, that's going to be a problem for Ginebra. And I think with 9 of 35, maybe get it to 13 of 35, 15 of 35, they might have had a chance here. So that 3-point shot, a big weapon for TNT.
I want to talk about the defense here for both these teams in reality. So let's talk first about the Barangay Ginebra side of things. So you mentioned yung defense of the defense of Barangay Ginebra doing very well. But then you take a look at how TNT is defending Barangay Ginebra, especially without Kelly Williams.
Yeah.
Poy Eram, we all saw what happened, did foul out. Si Justin Chua ended up leaving the first quarter and had to be taken out for an MRI. You take a look at all of that. How do they defend the front court of Barangay Ginebra if you're TNT?
You talk about the evolution of basketball. Poy Eram and Justin Chua are part of that evolution. They're stretch bigs. Christian Hardinger is a bulldozer, old school big man who likes to body up and also flop a little bit. But still, he knows that he is, he's a man amongst boys in that paint. So I was hoping that Kelly Williams could be that guy who could, body up Christian Hardinger. So it's going to be tough. It's a tough assignment for both Poy Eram and Justin Chua if he does come back. So I think a little bit more small ball could negate yung kalakihan ni Christian sa ilalim.
Pao wanted to talk about the big men, no? But for Ginebra, hindi lang naman big men yung gumagawa this time in game number 1. The wing and yung, syempre, Scotty Thompson, the MVP. Sila yung gumawa that time. How do you contain this time the smaller players of Ginebra, Scotty Thompson and Jamie Malonzo?
11 other coaches are trying to find out. So if they find out, maybe they'll let us know. I have no idea how to stop these two guys, to be honest with you. But Scotty Thompson, what's scary with Scotty, I think, we've said it time and time again, he does not need to score to control a game. 10, 13, and 11 in that game. And Jamie Malonzo, 21 and 8, including three-pointers. They're just getting better by the day, by the game. So I don't know how they figure that out.
And if you're Barangay Ginebra, you're going to expect the TNT Tropang Giga to just explode one game from the perimeter because they're just that good of a team in terms of shooting the three. One, do you think that game will come in terms like, okay, parang hindi nagmimintis yung TNT Tropang Giga? And two, do you think if that happens, Barangay Ginebra will be struggling defensively when they were so good in game number 1?
Oh, they're gonna make shots. We know what TNT can do. We know their talent, diba, their skill. They're gonna make shots at some point in this series. But the problem is with Ginebra, they just know how to control the pace. Meron sila mga NSD wins na fourth quarter. There's a big stretch, 3-4 minute stretch na talagang they take control of the game and they shackle itong teams na kalaban nila. So, at some point, TNT is gonna make shots, but Ginebra just knows when to lock down the more important possessions because that's what they play. They play 48 minutes of basketball. They don't worry about, one quarter, one stretch. They play 48 minutes, and they also know that one game won't win them a championship. And they've known that for years.
Now, we look forward to game number 2, what adjustments TNT will make, and then if Ginebra can continue their dominance, both inside and outside.